Hello, Transparency International Uganda.
Hello, yes, Transparency. Good morning.
Good morning to you, madam. You're speaking with Moses. How may I help you?
I have a challenge. I'm calling from Oyam.
Yes.
Transparency International Uganda has been running a project under the D.O.P program. It's a USAID-run project. And we've been having a number of what we call in NGO world interventions. This is actual type of activities. And among the interventions that we're having, we are running a toll-free line in Lira. And this line is covering Lira, it's targeting Lira, Oyam, and Apache.
The overall objective of this project is to enable a working environment for service delivery, and the project based on 3 major objectives, and one was to ensure that all citizens, including women, reports using ICT, reports poor service delivery using ICT. That's why we have the call center. And then the second one was to enhance the capacity of local government actors in promoting quality service delivery. And then the last objective looked at building capacity of the community structures, that is the voluntary accountability committees, basically to empower them to demand for accountability or to hold the leaders accountable.
And this toll-free line mainly looks at issues of service delivery, the challenges that are coming out, and how we can assist the community to improve on service delivery. Service delivery covers areas of health, covers areas of education, covers areas of production, that's agriculture, water and sanitation. It has been used widely by the community to report issues, to bring to our attention any issues so long as around issues of improving service delivery to them.
When those calls come through and I receive a call or a complaint, we have a template where we record the complaints of the callers and then generate a report. When the report is generated, it's forwarded to the project or what we call the program officers who follow up these phone calls.
We worked with other stakeholders, we worked with the local government officials, we worked with the partners, the CSOs, and we worked with the community.
We have lately looked at issues of staffing gaps in facilities, which many times people would call and report that, oh, we have come to facility X, but you know what, there is nobody. So these calls would come through TIU's call center. Now, the next move we are taking is to go and verify, and we do it as a joint force.
Usually we have what we call voluntary accountability committees. These are basically community monitors. They assist us in monitoring levels of service delivery and the challenges. So they're the ones who mostly call in. And when they call in to our toll-free line, we take up the call, we take up the issue, we categorize it, and follow it up according to how we have categorized it.
We have been working on health sector, education tech sector, and production sector. And we have been monitoring all the activities which have been done. In the past, before the intervention of transparency in my sub-county, things were worse.
The community have a number of problems, of which most often they don't have elsewhere to report immediately so that they get instant help. Now the VAC installed in place, initiated by TIU, has come in to get various reports or issues affecting the community and try to resolve them with the community together at the community level, and later on at the parish and sub-county level, and then the district.
I happens to meet the VAC people visiting the same school where I also visit as a parent. On reaching the office, the headmaster's office, I found they were asking series of questions of which I have no right to ask, but they were asking on my behalf. I feel so very pleased.
We knew nothing. People had been consuming our money as community. We have no any other objectives of monitoring or checking or intervening in the corruption which was going on in our community.
I've worked with Transparency International for 3 years. But before they came to this school, there were challenges as listed below. The first challenge was that there was poor performance in this school. Another challenge was that there were few latrine stances of only 15 stances out of 802 pupils, which could not accommodate them. Another challenge was that there were few teachers. We used to have only 19 teachers. Another challenge was there were few teachers' houses in this school.
When we got training in 2012, we had been reinforced with the knowledge and skills of monitoring the UP, other funds being collected in our schools, even funds which were sent by the government to school for development. We know how to monitor them.
If we get a call through the call center, immediately we have to either call back or rush to the facility to verify the reports. On verifying these reports, we then engage the stakeholders. For example, we start with the lower level. For example, in a school, we start with the school management committees. If the issues that they can address, for example, absenteeism, those are issues that start from there and it can be handled by the school management committees. If it is a health unit management committees.
As a representative of the community, I always, if I move around them where they are gathered in the trading center and even in the churches, I find that they talk about a Machel center, that the services are now okay. Most especially when they brought the doctor, because for the past, if they come here, they don't get the service that they want.
With the recruitment plan, that the gaps, the staffing gaps that the Transparency International identified from the facility and made us to come up with a recruitment plan, we are able now to have senior medical officer recruited at a Match Health Center 4. And a Match Health Center 4 was not functional, but now, as I talk, it is now fully functional. Giving comprehensive emergency obstetrical care.
The communities kind of have become aware that they report cases that probably are in the community. Before we know it, they walk to the facility and say, doctor, I have seen something looking like this. And then we come to look at it. If it is a notifiable case, we quickly take to the surveillance or focal person and then we take blood samples and send to Uganda Virus Research Institute straight away, like the acute flaccid paralysis, the measles cases which are suspected and reported. And so I think the use of the toll-free line has made a link between the community and the facility in a very beautiful way, that there is the time, there is no much delay now between the recognition and then the reporting of a problem in the community. And that helps us to respond within the shortest time possible.
In 2015, before they came, we got no first grade. But in 2016, we got 3 first graders. And we merged the best in this sub-county, even in this constituency, that is Rusoke County North. Another thing, they advocated for us, and more teachers were increased from 19 to 24. Another thing, because of the good performance, the enrollment increased from 802 to 1,489 pupils.
When you came here, you exposed our problem to the higher office. As I speak now, through your effort, we have been promised 2 classroom blocks to be constructed this way, and renovation of that classroom block.
I have liked the work because I feel I'm helping myself, I feel I'm helping my children, I feel I'm helping my community.
So it also helps us in documentation, because once a person calls in, these calls are easily logged on the computer. We can retrieve records, which might not be the case if we're using direct entry system, people walking in and calling. Yeah, then it also assists in having those calling in. They can call in anonymously, so it helps in covering their identity.
There's this animal called staffing norm, which was produced way back 10 years or more. But you know, the population then was still young compared to what it is right now. But you realize it's the same staffing norm that was produced, which is still being used right now. And it's one of the areas that we have been emphasizing, telling the government, look guys, can we have a process of revising the staffing norm so that you increase the health workforce to meet the demand of the population on the ground?
Most of our community members are still not fully aware of their rights and their responsibilities, or what they expect from the sub-county authorities and what they expect from these health facilities and what they are supposed to get and what they are also supposed to contribute in ensuring that most of the challenges they are facing in health facilities, they manage to report to the relevant authorities.
The biggest challenge right now is there are areas that need policy revisions, and this may not be addressed from the lower local government here. It might require national level engagements, and this is where we are trying to put our heads together to see how we can craft things and flag some of these issues at the national level.
In essence, we have provided a platform on which people can report. We have provided a channel, a reporting channel. We have provided a tool that can be used for disseminating information, for generating issues to be advocated for. So in short, it has been, I would say it has been very successful because we have seen the results. The results are on the ground. There you can touch them, you can see them. People can testify that after calling our toll-free line, they received this and that assistance. And it can also be tracked. We have got it documented.